G'day. Today I'm here with this 2014 Jeep Compass. It's got a strange problem. This car is a friend of mine's, Brett from Cardy Tunes.
Hey guys.
Cardy Tunes is a great channel for learning how to draw and
being silly.
and doing silly stuff. He's also lending me some of his good recording equipment. This Jeep of his has got this problem where it's parked up and it'll just start knocking, an interesting knock from inside the car.
There it is.
When you've just turned the car on,
or when the car's running. There you go.
you can hear that noise knocking up under the dashboard there. It'll also do that noise by itself when the car's just sitting there. Turned off.
For hours.
Yeah.
And just start knocking at you.
Yep.
In fact, when it's knocking outside, you think the postman's at the door, but it's not. It's under the dash. It's weird. And we know what it's actually called, don't we?
Yeah. Well, it's an actuator.
An actuator.
Yeah.
Actually, an actuator.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the heater.
It's actually annoying. So is it what's it do, Anthony? What's an actuator do?
This little part, I imagine it's in here somewhere because that's where the noise is coming from. It's basically going to control a valve in the heater of some description.
Okay.
It might be to allow a duct to open or close. It could be a coolant passage, whatever it is.
Yep.
That thing is getting stuck and it's trying to cycle and it's knocking. That's what's making that noise.
So it's literally knocking at its little door.
So we're going to open it up and find out what's going on in here.
So you don't need my toolbox with pencils and erasers?
I'm going to get in there and have a look, and Brett's going to help me out with a camera here. This is unusual for me. I'm usually working on my own. Yeah, I've got my own personal camera, dude. I'll just start off by removing the glove box. And usually you can get a glove box out just by pushing the sides in. Oh, there we go. That was perfect timing. This glove box out. Get that out of the way. We heard the knocking coming up from under here, but I didn't see anything moving. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the camera and get you to force the noise again.
Ready?
So there's a vent at the top of this heater box, and as that noise starts to occur, can you see that flap that folds down? That's when it started knocking. When we turn it off, you'll see it slowly retracts. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to whip out this box here, which I imagine is going to be the cabin air filter, and have a look what's going on in there. All right, so that's the air filter, and you can see it hasn't been changed for a while. It's pretty filthy. That little white part there, the valve that's not actuating correctly, I can see the actuator just from here. I'm not sure whether the camera is going to be able to see it or not, but I'm just going to try and position the camera up in there.
Everyone I've seen on YouTube look at this,
Yep.
haven't been able to film it like
From a good angle. Yeah. It's very tight, yeah.
So you have to unplug it, is that right? It's got some wires?
Yeah, it's got a couple of wires on it and a couple of screws holding it in. Over here, this is the actual part in question, and you can see it's just a simple actuator. This little moving part here, and then two wires in there. So we'll whip the old one out and put the new one in. I'm just thinking, I've got a boroscope which I could connect.
A boroscope?
Yeah.
That sounds very technical.
Do you think we should bother?
The tech side of it will be cool to see the boroscope in action.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go
Why
get
not?
your boroscope then. Come on. So you know, Anthony, this part was on Amazon.
Yeah.
$35.
So it's obviously a common fault.
Do you want me to video the screen with your GoPro?
No, I'll use OBS
Oh, fantastic.
Studio. Pretty sure that's the actuator just there. There's the 2 wires going into it. One of the retaining screws. The other one is up the back there. So
wow.
they are pretty awkward to get to, and I'll contort myself a little bit to do it, I think. Nothing too dramatic.
Yeah, if there wasn't enough shine coming off the forehead, I'll put your head, I'll put another light on you. There you go. That's why I'm wearing a hat. We can't have 2 shiny heads in the film today.
The first thing is to unplug that little bugger.
And that's got to push in quick.
Okay, so that's that out. Can show you the connector. I've just got to get the angle of the dangle right.
Yep.
You actually can get in there with the stubby. Thank you.
Thanks heaps. You did it, mate.
Alright, that's one.
Yep.
It was a bit of a challenge. If you look at my arm,
Jeez.
you can see the things that your mechanics go through. You know, and sometimes you maybe can understand why they don't want to do a job like that.
Yeah. And that's what I was told. Oh, it's only knocking, just put up with it.
If it looks clumsy, then we'll have to cut it out, because you can't look clumsy on camera. No, I'm just starting to have fun, Brett. Get it up through there.
Yeah, there it is, right on it.
Right on it?
Yep. The camera's right on it.
Oh yeah. Upside down.
Almost on it. Right. Yes, that's it. That's the one.
So the big fat wiring loom is right in the way, but I can just see.
That's it. You're on it now. And you sort of need to angle it up.
But the screwdriver's not straight, is it?
No,
And that's because that
because that's in the way.
fat wiring loom. I'm gonna give the loom a bit of a push. I'm gonna give that a push. Alright, so the aluminium drift, push the loom back a bit.
Yep. Yep. Across. Keep going across. Keep going a little bit more. Up a bit. Just there. Back a tiny bit. There. That's the spot.
Is my finger on the screw?
Your finger is not on the screw. It's right next to it.
That's the screw
That's
there.
it. That's the one. Yep, you're in.
Upside down again. Have a drink. I'll get it this time. I'll get it with my left hand. That's in. Do you reckon you could spin that laptop around for me? Thanks. All right. That's it.
Oh, good on you, mate. Wow. See, that wasn't hard, was it?
And I'm turning, what, an eighth of a turn at a time. The screw's going to be tight all the way out, unfortunately. Now, the screw's still got a tiny % of a thread in, just enough to hang on. Okay, that's that.
The dreaded screw.
And Now I've got the actuator out.
Cool. Shall we compare them? Compare the pair? Okay. There you go. So this one's got a nice cogwheel on it.
Yep.
The white one.
So the interesting thing's probably going to be putting it back in place, making sure that that spline aligns correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But we should be able to move the little flap inside to make that work. So hopefully we'll put that in, plug it in, test it, and then screw it back in place.
Sounds easy.
Up in here is the flap which opens and closes. Okay, and I can push that backwards and forwards with the screwer tool. And you can see over there on the boroscope the actuation of that. This is the part that's got to be controlled by that little actuator. Now I'm just going to slip that actuator back in.
Yep, this is the easy part, isn't it?
Can you see that screw-it tool? No, that's screw-it tool.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So what I did at this point in time, I was rocking the duct backward and forward with the screw-it tool while I aligned the actuator with my other hand so that the spline lined up with the valve. All right, I've slid that actuator back on. What I want to do is plug in the wire and just confirm that it's working before I screw it back into position.
So it's in place as it...
So I will hold it in position.
So you're not going to get electrocuted or anything?
No, I'll let you know when I'm ready. That's all right. Do it anyway.
Do it? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, be careful. Turning on fan.
Okay. So that actuated just fine.
Yep.
Now turn it off again. No more clicking.
Yay. Well done, Anthony.
So all that's left to do is to put those two screws back in. That's the easy part.
But it's entertaining watching someone else do it.
I got the screw out.
Yeah, you did.
So I can get it back in.
Yes, you can. There's no doubt. Did you unplug it again, mate? Or
No, I won't unplug it now. I'll just slot that screw in there, get it started a couple of threads, like that. Then I'll go back with the screwdriver.
Yep. That's how you do it, people.
I'm doing it from memory.
Giving the Jeep a nice big hug right now and saying goodbye to the girl soon. This actually has been amazing. So I've driven this about 180,000 Ks since 2016, and this has been the only annoying thing happen other than replacing wheel bearings at the back recently. It's been an awesome car, Anthony.
That's great.
Really good medium-sized SUV. You've done the hard one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, mate, you are on fire. Like literally.
Now I'm just going to get that drift out of the way.
Drift?
Yeah.
Is that a fancy name for an aluminium pole?
Yeah, it's literally a piece of aluminium bar stock that has been cut to a random length and used for hitting stuff.
There you go.
And that's what we call a drift. So that's the actuator changed.
How do you feel?
That was a nice easy job. Look at my arms. I'm going to do a couple of hints for people if you're trying to do this job. That little kick panel, that bit of insulation underneath, I recommend you get a screw nut tool and remove it. Just gives you a bit of an additional space that you can put your arm up into. The other thing is I removed the glove box all the way rather than leaving it hanging. I recommend that as well. And the kick panel here that came off the side there. All of these three things, if you remove them, give you a bit more space to work with. And then the last thing I recommend, and I'll see if I can get the camera up in there, is to get to that forward screw. If you can get an aluminium, something definitely not sharp, but get up in there and push that fat wiring loom forward, that's going to make your life a lot easier to get your screwdriver on the head of that front screw. But don't use anything sharp, definitely not a screwdriver, something with a nice flat end. This went here.
So this is what place.
That filter, yeah, you'll just pop that back in, just a tab here and here. Put the glove box back in.
Beautiful.
All right, there we go. It's 23 degrees and look at how much I'm sweating. Look at my wrists. That's how you change the actuator. 2014 Jeep Compass.
Limited.
A limited edition. If you don't mind working hard for a bit, then you can change that actuator by yourself. It's easy to get the part. Amazon, what was it?
Yeah, 35 bucks.
But when your mechanic says you should just live with it, well, have a think about how you want to be after you've changed. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Okay, the big test. Thank you, Anthony. Here we go. Ooh, turning on the fan. Oh my gosh, it's silent. That's amazing.